Yes, it's true. There is a way for you to track your payment. In this video, I can actually release really good information about the stimulus check, specifically how you can track it. You can go into who's eligible. There's portals finally open, ready for you to go ahead and use. We're gonna get into all of that. And make sure you stay till the end because I'm gonna tell you why I think that there will be much more stimulus checks on the way in the future. All that and more, so keep it locked. This Crystal with the Cash Compass. All right, welcome back. I am here to teach you all the things that you should have learned about money in school, but for whatever reason, they forgot to mention it. Please be sure to subscribe because we talk about everything from personal finance to investing to the economy. And then get right into it. All right, so for starters, the IRS will not ever call you for information, okay? They know exactly who you are. If someone's calling you asking for your address, asking for your social security number, asking for any personal information, hang up! Please do not fall victim to scammers because they are out here heavy. The majority of people who are eligible for these stimulus checks will be receiving their money pretty much without having to do anything, and I'll get into more details on that later. Alright, so that website that I was talking to you guys about in this video, and I'll have this link in the description, but here is the one-stop shop for everything that you need related to the stimulus check. If you get SSI, SSDI, the real retirement, you do not have to take any action. If you filed your 2019 or your 2018 taxes, you do not have to take any action. The only people that have to take action and actually fill out a form are people who are legally obligated to actually file taxes. So if you made less than about $12,000 or $12,200, you wouldn't have to file. So if you didn't file but you still want this check, you can file in this website, link in the description. Also, if you didn't make not $1, you can apply and get the $1,200 check. The only exception from what I understand is that you cannot be claimed as a dependent on somebody else's tax return. So if you're under your parents' tax return, yeah, sorry, you're out of luck. Also on this website, you are able to change your payment method. The way you're gonna get this money depends on the method in which you received your refund or made your payments when you filed your 2018 or 2019 taxes. So let's say you filed your 2019 taxes and you requested to get your money through check. Well, it's gonna come through check, your stimulus amount. And conversely, if you chose to get it direct deposited, then it's going to get direct deposited. It seems as if they are favoring people who have direct deposits. So if you do have a bank account and you don't mind providing that information, you'll go into this tracker so you can actually change your payment method. Now, this will be available, it says middle of April, so I'm thinking that's probably next week, which is also when they're supposed to be sending the checks out. So once they actually start getting these checks out, you'll be able to check on the status to see if it was sent out or not. If it was already sent out, then you can't change your payment method. If you are somebody who does get Social Security and you have a kid, you will not automatically get the $500. So you'll have to be sure to go into this website. I keep on saying I take a shot every time I say that. But go on this website and make sure you fill out the additional form that you need in order to claim them kids and claim that extra $500. Okay, so if you stayed up until this point, you're gonna get the best information because I saved the best for last. So why do I think this will not be the end of stimulus checks? It's important to understand that within the US economy, our GDP, which is basically our growth, 70% of that is from consumer spending. Okay, it wasn't always like that. We used to be a manufacturing powerhouse and we used to be the innovative minds of this world. So you think about Silicon Valley and people who used to actually be in the factories working. Now we have what I believe to be limited ourselves to just services, and we're a super service economy. Your Ubers, your Lyfts, your baristas, we're basically just spending. So the world's literally on a standstill, which means nobody is spending. People have lost millions of jobs. And I know you hear on TV, oh, it's gonna be a V-shaped recovery, don't even worry about it, but there's no way it could be a V-shaped recovery. At least not on Main Street. On Wall Street, yeah, they can do whatever they want with the stock market, and they will. But on Main Street, people are still going to be scared. Even if tomorrow you told people, don't worry, coronavirus is cleared up, there's still gonna be people who are apprehensive. There's still gonna be people who can't get back to their job because their jobs have closed permanently. So things are going to take a little bit of a while to build up. People still won't have jobs. And if we don't wanna see 2 quarters of terrible growth, we will need more money into the economy. But they're gonna have to stimulate the average person more because we are the people who are actually spending and contributing to GDP. So if you just give people $1,200, that might help somebody clear up some bills they were already past due on, but is it gonna actually help to reinflate this market? Are people gonna be buying homes? Are people gonna be buying cars? Or are they going to be afraid because there's no money for them to actually spend? They don't know if their jobs are secure. There's a lot of different moving parts that would make people not really want to spend. And I'll be honest, that's exactly how I feel. Even if things were to clear up with this pandemic, I don't don't know that I would be the one out there going on luxurious vacations and buying a whole bunch of stuff. And I've even heard Trump already kind of sprinkle in little mentions of the payroll tax being removed. So they try to get you warm to the idea. Maybe he'll just mention it in passing, then you'll hear it a little bit more frequently and more frequently. So it might come in a different form. Maybe it won't be a $1,200 check, but maybe, like I said, in the form of these payroll tax cuts. Whatever they can do to kind of motivate people to start spending money to gain confidence back into the fiat currency and try to go back to a life as normal, they will do. Also, we wouldn't even be the first people to do this because Spain just recently announced that they will be adding what they call universal basic income. And that's the idea of every single month you will get a check, no matter what, as long as you are a citizen of this country or a country, you're gonna get a check for no reason. And they suggested it's a temporary program just until we get through this pandemic. But the truth is, anytime the government or the Federal Reserve says temporary, that's keyword for permanent. And just as an example, we were supposed to be temporarily off the gold standard in 1971. You see what year it is, right? So they've mentioned that even if the pandemic is done, they may make it a permanent thing because they think that the citizens need this. And I know some people might think, wow, that's really good, but the thing is, the effects that it can have on the economy as a whole can end up being life-threatening, okay? It will really alter the way that you live. These practices have potential to make everybody even worse off. I've talked about this so many times, but I do want to drive this point home. They have to have a level of comfort and confidence in the economy. Otherwise, the fiat currency will be absolutely worthless. Once you lose faith in a dollar, nobody's going to use it no more, and then everything will melt down. And they probably don't want that right now, so they want to do anything that they can to prop it up. I think stocks have potential to really take off. You'll see like some history-breaking records that we're making. Oh, our stocks have gone up so much, new record, and it's gonna give everybody that false sense of hope, and they're gonna be shoving their money back into the system. But it can be a bear market trap, and that basically means that we are in a bear market territory, right, where things are plunging down past 20%, but it might have a quick pickup. But that is only to trap the people who have that false sense of security, and then it will drop right back down, taking all that wealth with them. But if it isn't obvious to you guys, Wall Street and Main Street are on two completely different dimensions, okay? We're not even in the same world anymore, because we had the best week in the stock market since decades ago, and on that same page, look at this, on that same screen, you'll see that we have 16 million job losses in the span of 3 weeks. If that isn't perfectly opposite, tell me what is. These markets are being manipulated by the Federal Reserve, by all this money printing, because they are injecting money into these corporations that are failing. If our economy was so strong, there would be no need for that, because companies would actually have cash reserves and actually be able to maintain at least 3 weeks of instability. 17 million people have lost their jobs, and companies are already shutting down stores because they cannot handle it. In what world is that strong? People were in my comments telling me I should be happy for a $200 check, and I should be grateful that we're even getting this money, and I should be happy for unemployment. And it's like, why would I be happy that we are watching our money erode and potentially entering hyperinflation? If they allowed things to actually fall in 2008, yes, it would have been painful, but it would have sent the right message to people. And a lot of people's arguments are, well, these companies employ people, and if they don't get the money, they can't employ people. No, if they don't get the money, they will fail. And who will get rewarded? The people that actually did the right thing, okay? Because let's say, I don't know, AT&T failed. Well, people still need cell phones, so then you'll have Verizon, who has been saving their money, who has been making sure they haven't taken on too much debt, who actually has a viable business model. They finally get to take advantage because they can buy up some of AT&T's assets. They can keep some of those people who were working at AT&T on board, because they're growing, because they're actually doing things that deserve to be rewarded. In this world, however, people can be absolutely reckless with the way that they spend. They can have a business model that makes absolutely not one penny in profit, and then they can go and cry to the Federal Reserve and the government and get bailed out. That directly benefits people who are doing the wrong things. That is a moral hazard. If in 2008, like I said, they just let things go, people would say, oh man, all right, well, I gotta get my act together. I don't want to look like that company who lost it all and did not get any bailout. I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I actually make a profit. But if you're telling someone, hey, don't worry, do what you gotta do, we're gonna just give you money at the end of it all, there's no incentive, and I'm not even mad at them. You know, I get it. If you're gonna get millions of dollars from your rich uncle, what incentive do you have to do the right thing? Same thing with savers. You're not rewarded for saving, okay? Because these major companies, Chase, you know, whoever, Bank of America, you get 0.01% of a return on your money. Then they take that money, lend it over and over and over again, and they can give it in the form of a credit card, and boom, they're making 20%. What a spread. That is, I mean, so people constantly get punished for doing the right thing in this kind of economy, and it's able to keep on going because there's people who are telling me we should be thankful for this, but not really understanding the bigger picture of things. All right, that was all. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I do want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about all that is going on? Talk to me. If you have any video ideas, drop them below. And if you're not doing anything else, you know what to do. Binge watch me. And until next time, keep your money up.